Welcome back to Sam Graham Does TCGs. Cracking another box of Crucible of War Unlimited. I almost said Monarch because I have done so much Monarch of late. We've got Crucible of War Unlimited. I almost did it again right then talking about it. Got a majestic rainbow foil equipment on the last box that I did, the first one. So let's see, if we can get a legendary or a fabled in this box, or if I can consistently do the pull tabs better and learn how to do that. It will be interesting to see. So we've got a Towering Titan as our first foil. That's a rare. Heron's Flight. First pack is a majestic Heron's Flight with a high speed impact. So yeah, these tabs are slowing me down. I'd gotten the box openings to a pretty solid, 9-10 minutes, and last one was 15. Maybe it was looking at the cards more, but we shall see. There's a Brutal Assault. That's a common foil. Red Liner for a rare, and Dauntless for a rare. Maybe if I can figure out the tabs, I'll be in good shape on the time again. There's Ira, Young Hero. Ooh, that's pretty sweet. Again, that was pretty spicy first edition. We'll see how it does in Unlimited, but a foil Zen State token, that's pretty awesome. Set that kind of separate. Rushing River and Crane Dance. I almost did a good job with that tab. There's a Copper token. A Tripwire Trap, rare foil. Towering Titan, and a Zephyr Needle. I know a lot of people were expecting for Monarch to see more like the gold and silver tokens and stuff. And then we were kind of thinking about it for Kingdoms, which is now the Tales from Aria or Tales of Aria. There's a hit and run foil. But it seems like that might not be a thing either. There's a Plasma Purifier. Had one of those in the last box. And a Cash In. Because this Cash In card, you may destroy 4 coppers, 2 silvers, or 1 gold, rather than pay its 4 cost to draw 2 cards and go again, which is a pretty good function, especially if you have a way to get silver and gold tokens to make it even more effective. The copper tokens are they were a fun gimmick that some people figured out how to use, but I think it needs more support. There's a Combustible Courier, Reinforce the Line, and Towering Titan. So I'm a little surprised we haven't seen more of that yet. So I'm hoping it's coming soon. There's a Riled Up common foil, Cindering Foresight, and a rare Harmonized Kodachi. I'm thinking about it. I can't remember. I don't think, other than maybe the Kodachi, I don't remember. There's Viserai. The other. Oh, here's another. Seismic Surge was an interesting token as well, being a useful aura token. There's a Dauntless and Aether Conduit. I forget what I was saying before I saw that token foil, so I apologize for that. Hey, there's a rare foil equipment. So this, again, this would have been our cold foil if this was first edition. Mandible Claw. So that's kind of neat. Mavrian Skies and reinforce the line. Yeah, I'll be curious. I know most of the unlimited sets, with the exception of like some of the top Majestics and, obviously the legendaries and Fabled, hit and run. Bighorn and Cindering Foresight. They haven't held like anywhere close to the same kind of value. I'll be curious, especially with the Majestic um, weapons and armor in particular, things like the warrior chestplate and stuff like that. Um, what kind of value those end up having, just because they're so sought after for a lot of different decks. Um, hey, speaking of sought after, Twinning Blade. Now, this is another difference in first edition and unlimited, is that in first edition, Twinning Blade had a extended art that showed the other side of the art. So like literally twinning the image. But that does not seem to exist in Unlimited. It's the same thing that they did in Monarch, where any alternate art cards were first edition only. But this is still a very good warrior majestic. And Centauri Saber, speaking of a warrior weapon. But yeah, so there are a lot of the cards. Twinning Blade, the majestic equipment, especially the warrior. Um, I'll be very curious to see, what things end up being worth on the secondary market and stuff like that. There's a rare foil, Rushing River. Dauntless and Towering Titan with its monster 9 resource cost. I'm used to playing Warrior, where really, I mean, look at Twinning Blade is cost 0, Dauntless cost 1. Warrior stuff tends to be pretty cheap, so it's weird to see things that are so much more than that. Oh, there's a Predatory Assault, common foil, Promise of Plenty, and High Speed Impact. Yeah, it just makes my eyes bug out a little bit when I see one of like the big monster 9 resource cost cards. There's a Crush the Weak, a 3 resource, that's pushing it. A Reaping Blade, that's the Rune Blade weapon. And Rushing River, red pitch. There's a Barraging Bighorn for some fun. Rare foil. Towering Titan and Cavdane, Trader of Skins. Kind of a gross card, but a pretty cool one of those. They don't have a lot of stuff supporting him yet, but people have like had fun trying to build blitz decks around him or around kind of goofier things like the Data Doll or even not Kano. People build decks around him. Shiana, who I would love to see in one of the packs I open. There's a Common Pathing Helix. Gaze the Ages. Alright, we'll go Crane Dance for the rare, but this is one of my favorite pieces of art in the game. I just think that's a really, really cool piece of art. Alexander Gehring, you did fantastic work on that. That is really cool. I think that's one where I got the playmat at some point, but I don't typically keep the official playmats. So I may regret that, but it's a great piece of art. Increase the tension. There's a Zephyr Needle. Again, I think this is the one facing the opposite direction. They have one each direction for some of the one-handed weapons, and High Speed Impact. Oh, good grief. So that's something I've heard too. I do notice these cards do feel a little bit different. Again, talking about mine, these are Japanese printed instead of the Belgium printers. Um, so there's some coloring differences. The cards are a little thicker, not quite as slippery, I don't think. And I've heard people, yeah, I can kind of see the edges being a little bit thicker. They're a little bit easier to scuff the edges. The corners look better, but then the edges look a little worse. It's funny how you, oh, hey, there is a majestic foil. That's Feign Death. It's funny how they kind of traded one of the condition things for another. Promise them plenty in Mauvrion Skies. But still, at least it shows that they're working on it and trying to figure problems out, and that we can keep going. How about that? That's fun. So, the first edition Benji foil is a pretty decent hit. That and the Kasai, somewhat less so Cavdan and the Datadol, but Benji and Kasai were pretty good um, rare foil hits. First Benji I've seen in Unlimited so far. Another cool young ninja hero. So I'll be curious to see how Benji does. And a majestic equipment. Not foil, but that's the Metacarpus node. The equipment were pretty sought after majestics in first edition. So they'll obviously be cheaper in Unlimited. But I'm wondering if people who, had a harder time or just couldn't justify the price, which I respect the heck out of, might have an easier time getting some of those cards now. So that's a Meet and Greet common. That's a Edge of Autumn, a ninja weapon. This was it came in the original, the Ira welcome deck, I believe, is where this one came from. And cash in. Kind of a little bit of a meme card pending more coins to support it, but I like them so far. Like I kept a few extra first editions. I don't think the Unlimiteds will have the same kind of appeal, but I'll probably hold on to a couple of those too, just for fun. There's a Rousing Aether, a common foil, Pitfall Trap, and a Lunging Press, which is a fun little reaction. An attack reaction, so it gives it +1 for 0, which sometimes you just need that 1 on a reaction to get through. So that's really a pretty decent card. I don't always end up using it, just personal preference, but it's one worth considering. All right, with this one, this is 3 packs left. There's an Emerging Dominance common foil. Arg Smash. I pulled the foil of this in the first box I opened, so we got a non-foil here. And then Cindering Foresight. There's a Flying Kick, common foil. Rushing River and Barraging Bighorn. And last pack for this box, which is another not spectacular box, but also not disappointing either. The Mandible, Benji, the tokens, there's some pretty decent stuff. There's my second favorite right now, Azalea. There's a Bittering Thorns, common foil. There's Reinforce the Line and Promise of Plenty. So yeah, really not bad. Some good Majestics. The Node, Gaze the Ages, Twinning Blade are all, at least in first edition, were well sought after. I get the feeling they'll be people will be looking for cheaper versions of those in their decks. So I think those are good cards. The foil Feign Death is fun. Mandible Claw, Zen State, Seismic Surge tokens, and the foil Benji. It's a pretty good box. I can't really complain about this one either. Thanks for watching. Good luck with your pulls, especially if you're cracking into some Crucible War Unlimited. Let me know how it goes. Bye, y'all.